What you're about to watch is a special private training session for people who bought a copy of my book, Built to Serve. Enjoy.
There he is. Let's go, guys.
It's happening. What do you guys got? Who's here? Who showed up? You got questions? How can I serve and help?
So I was talking to an individual and about getting another job to kind of support my entrepreneurial journey, because I'm not making money right now, but at the same time it's like my bank account's kind of not drying up, but it kind of is. Yep. So do you think getting another job kind of stops the progress of me becoming a more entrepreneurial? I don't know how to word that.
Listen, you gotta survive too, and while it's on the way out, it allows you to be a little more picky with what you take on, as opposed to being completely dried up and now you're going to McDonald's or something, anything just to get something. What I would do is, one, try to find a job where you're going to learn. So it's not just a paycheck, but you're gonna learn. Ideally, you find somebody it's a smaller company, look for 10 employees or less, because you can take on more responsibilities and more projects. So it's not just some dead end job that you hate going to. And it's somebody who's built what you want to do. Like, imagine this is you in 3 years or 5 years or 7 years or whatever. Then now you've got your team of 10 people building the thing that you want to build, as opposed to what most people do is just go get a job because they need to make money and they hate their job and they're learning no skills and they're stuck, right? So that's what I would start looking for. So you get mentorship and guidance and connections alongside a paycheck. And then the most important part of that is then in the evenings and weekends, you still dedicate time to doing your thing.
Yeah.
Right. So that there's still momentum. So if you look a month later, okay, stuff has happened. Trenton's still doing his thing. It's massively slowed down, but he's still doing his thing.
Yeah, makes sense.
It allows you to be more picky to find the right company. Versus in 6 months when there's bank account is zero, like, oh my gosh, I need to really hustle and take some crappy job you hate. What do you got for me? We're doing Q&A. How can I help? I mean, the goal of setting up this group was people who bought the book to help you go deeper, have a support group, have access to me who wrote it. So that it's not just a book that you read and put on the shelf, but then you actually do something with it.
So Founder White has a question.
My question is, I'm trying to take my, as I always tell you, I want to be a motivational speaker and take it to the next level. I know you talk about content, but I'm trying to take it to the next level of speaking at schools. And I was wondering how to kind of incorporate that, like how to actually do it. You know what I mean? Well,
right now, I don't know if they're bringing speakers in the schools, right? But in the coming months, it's starting to open up. I don't know what it's like. I mean, I can only speak from Canada experience. I don't know state by state where things are at. But honestly, it's not that hard to get into a school. You just need to contact the administration. It's just usually a school by school level.
Okay.
Like who's at the individual school? Call them and say, "Hey, I'm a motivational speaker, or here's my story. I love to speak at an upcoming assembly," assuming they're doing assemblies. Right? But it's going to come back. And so ideally what you then do is you get a couple. The easiest one to start is your old school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you close? Like, have you moved?
I'm still in San Antonio, but not in the area of my high school, though. But I can get there.
Yeah, like how far away are you?
Probably like 20, 30 minutes away.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, I mean, that's the easiest spot. I'm an alumni. I used to go here. And you can think about your elementary school, high school. I don't know if it's how many schools you went to over the years, but that's the easiest spot. I'm an alum. I'm a speaker now. I'd love to come back and share my wisdom. It's just about picking the date and whatever COVID restrictions and rules they have. Film it.
Yeah.
As simple as having an iPhone on a stick and you set it up and film it. If you have any friends at all who know anything about cameras and they're willing to come along and help you film your first one, then film that. And then you have a demo to go take to all the other schools. Say, hey, here's what I did at this school in San Antonio. I'd love to come and speak at yours. And you just keep going around all the different high schools in the area. It's tons.
Okay.
To get the practice, to start building up the name. You want to get to the point where those are unpaid gigs, right? I mean, it's just building the experience and building a name and giving you content, getting you to the point where then your name starts circling say, man, we had this guy, Fonda. He had this huge smile. He had this great heart. He had a great message. We should have him speak at our whatever event. And the key to getting speaking gigs is to start doing speaking gigs, and then people see you, and then maybe some of the parents are in the audience, and then they hire you for their corporate gig, or maybe one of the kids says, we had this awesome guy named Fonda, and then somebody looks you up, right? It's just speaking every week. That will lead to great things as you get better too. I mean, the first one might be a little awkward as you're figuring stuff out, but as you get better, you start building your name, your reputation.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Hey, Evan, I attended a workshop this morning. A guy called Zach Mercurio was talking about purpose. You said the subject was purpose. Here's his definitions. The purpose is, what do you do? What is the human problem you exist to serve? Why does it matter? Then he said your vision. What would the world look like if you were done in strategic planning? We talk about vision a lot. And the mission is, what are the day-to-day things that you do to achieve your purpose? So in strategic planning, we talk about vision and mission, but the purpose gets added to that. What is the human problem you exist to serve? That's his definition. Maybe you want to comment on that, Evan.
I like it. I think the human problem that you exist to serve is the problem that you struggled with yourself. Right. So, that's why I wrote Built to Serve. Whatever you struggled the most with as a human is what you want to help other people through. The most painful moments in your life, whatever that was, there's millions of people who are that right now, and they need your voice. They need you to step up. They need you to share your story and what you went through. So it's pretty aligned, maybe slightly different words. I think the difference is it comes from your own pain as opposed to just picking some cause. I think people pick a cause like, oh, I want to go save the rainforest or whatever. Like, okay, those could be good causes, but where does that come from? Is it actually mean enough to you? And there's so many great, wonderful causes out there, but the thing that you'll feel most connected to, we love doing good things. We love helping people. It's just built into us, and we'll love doing something to save the rainforest. And when you find somebody who's exactly like who you used to be, and you find a 15-minute conversation is the thing that lights them up, and then they go home and have hope and start making progress, that will feel so much better than I saved 1,000 trees in a rainforest. Now, maybe your thing is the rainforest, and that's awesome. But I think we're picking causes often based off of what we feel we should be doing, or what society's doing, or what somebody on Instagram is talking about, as opposed to the thing that we actually care deeply the most about. So just add that that purpose comes from your own story, comes from your own pain. The vision part of that, what will the world look like when it's done? I mean, I think your purpose should be so big that it's never done. It's just my take on it. Like, imagine, so if I say, and here's what I say, that everybody has Michael Jordan level talent at something, right? You're a genius. You're the best in the world at something. Okay. We have some happy people here. I like it. You're Michael Jordan at something. You just don't know what it is, or you do, and you don't have the courage to chase it down. What would a world look like with everybody being their Michael Jordan level genius? I have no idea. I mean, it's an amazing world, beautiful world, but I don't know what that. I think it's so far away, and it's never going to happen in my lifetime that I don't know what it looks like. And I don't, me personally, don't even concern myself with thinking about what that potential would look like, because it's never going to happen in my lifetime. And yet I wake up trying to make it happen in my lifetime. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents. But it's very closely aligned, though. Like, I'm sure if we got into a room, we're not going to be debating over minutia like that. But that's just my quick take on what he said.
And I know you probably touched on this numerous times, but building my motivational speaking and my brand business is called Rise to Strive. And as far as like building the brand or getting it out there more, is a website important, or just maybe like getting out content, or just putting, pieces of things together, or what's more important?
A website's becoming less and less important, to be honest. I don't know how many people here have even gone to my website. Maybe. When was the last time it's happened? Like,
right.
Maybe it's been a long time, maybe never. I wouldn't worry about it at the beginning. I would have your social profile speak for you.
Okay.
So if I'm you and I'm a speaker, I would pick a platform, YouTube or Instagram. And then if you have, do you have fondawhite.com, or you have risetothrive.com, or you have the domain name?
I went to the courthouse to get the name, but I don't have the domain name yet. I haven't even created the website yet. I was just making sure if it was important to even create it yet.
Well, locking in your domain name is important. Like owning it is helpful. You should start looking at that right now.
Okay.
If Fonda White is taken, then what's your middle initial?
G. Glenn is my middle name.
Yeah, it could be like Fonda G White, or it could be Rise to Thrive, or it could be something else. Like just figure out. A lot of domain names are taken, so that's the hard part. So you want to try to get that as soon as possible. But after that, I wouldn't even worry about a website yet. I just have it automatically point to your YouTube channel.
Okay.
So if somebody went to risetothrive.com, it just forwards to your YouTube.
Right.
So you can still have people go to your website. You can still tell them in your email signature, or on your social, or when you're talking to somebody. If Mark is asking a question like, hey, where do I find you, Fonda? You can say risetothrive.com, and it just forwards to your YouTube channel.
Well,
right.
You're not going to get that one. Go to GoDaddy and you can look these things up. If you want risetothrive.com, it's going to cost you $18,000. You want to find one that's available for about $3 a year.
Well, Rise to Thrive with the S.
Strive.
Okay. Well, all right. You can look at Rise.
I'm gonna make Mark do some work here, but that's it. I mean, if it's GoDaddy, there's lots of websites. GoDaddy is an easy one. You start putting in different name combinations.
Oh, you can have that. Rise2strive.com. After this call, go to GoDaddy and just grab it. It's like $3 for the first year or two or something like that. Even if you haven't, built your website yet, grab rise2strive.com. It's pretty good, and reserve it for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody else do on this call.
Trenton's already on his way. He's like, no, that was mine.
All kidding aside, you better hurry up and go do that right this smack and second, because anytime somebody looks up a website address, there's some piranha that comes by and buys it and wants to sell it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get the website today, like right away. Go get the website.
I mean, like right after this call, right?
Yeah, for sure. Right after this call, you go get it, and then you point it to your YouTube channel. And then don't worry about content on the website. Just make YouTube videos.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Thank you.
Cool. Olivia, what do we got? She's back.
Hey, hi. So good to see you. I want to ask you a philosophical question.
Ooh, okay.
Once we have a purpose in mind, it could be like something like evangelical or something like that. That may not be able to voice it out, but that's not my main question. My main question is, how do you go about make your choice? Because there's always multiple opportunities presented to you in the world, and how you spend your time and energy. So how do you normally discern, who to partner with and which project to work on? And very general question, but I want to hear your insights and wisdom.
So two things. One, a lot of it is based on how I feel. If I'm excited by something, it has a much greater chance of working than if I'm not. Even if strategically it's the right thing, if I'm not excited by it, it's probably not going to work out. So what am I actually genuinely excited by that, falls within the mission of what I'm trying to do? And then how do I get started as soon as possible? What's one small way just to get started? Because you won't know until you actually do it. Right. So you look at Zan, right? Zan built to serve coach. So how did it start with Zan? Zan joined my Movement Makers program. He was there. He was energy, tons of fun. Then he joined my live stream where I was playing League of Legends and answering business questions. And it's like, I like this guy. I should do something more with this guy. I don't know what to do, but we should do something more. So I found out he was a DJ, and I said, hey, in your past life, you're a DJ. Do you want to come and DJ Movement Makers? Because people come in early. So 15, 20 minutes early. Come on and just DJ and welcome people and give them a smile and a laugh and a good time. And help them feel comfortable because so they're not by themselves, get them to turn their cameras on and make them feel welcome. Because then you hang around Zen, you're going to feel welcome. It's just going to happen, right? So he said, yeah. And so he started doing that. It's like, man, this is a lot of fun. Then I asked him if he wanted to join my live stream to be a co-host and answer some of the questions. Then he said yes to that. It's like, I really like this guy. Learn more about coaching, how much it was a passion of his, learned how much he loved Built to Serve. He's got multiple copies. He's read it a million times. It's fallen apart. Every time I see him, his pages flying out of the book. He's going to pull it up. It's just, those are the copies. But one of them is just torn up. You see, it's like, it's all falling apart. It's not even a book anymore. It's just pages loosely kind of connected because he's torn through it so many times. And so pairing how much he loved the book with how much he loves coaching, thought, hey, how about you become the Built to Serve coach? And he said, I'm down for that. And so that's what he's doing now. It's become this amazing opportunity and partnership. So I didn't think going in, I didn't need to have a Built to Serve coach. It wasn't this is my next strategic step, is to get a Built to Serve coach. Because I didn't want to do individual coaching. I like this kind of setup, like group coaching, awesome, but one-on-ones, I didn't want to do that business. But because of hanging around Zen, we made an opportunity happen because it felt right. But it didn't start with this big idea. It started with, oh, you're so warm and loving in our group and you used to DJ. Do you want to do some fun before we do our movement makers? And if he said no to that, maybe I never do anything else with Zen. I don't know. Right? But he said yes, without having any big plan in mind. Like maybe Zen just wanted to be closer, or he wanted to contribute more, or maybe he was thinking already, I'm going to be the Built to Serve coach. And this is just my ninja way to get in front of Evan. I don't know. Maybe he was really that smart and had it all planned out. I wasn't that smart. He's saying, no, I didn't know. So what do you actually love doing? You have all these opportunities in front of you. What do you actually want to do? Like what actually gets you excited? Because the one that you get excited by is more likely going to be the one that will have success. And then inside of that, how do you just get started? What's the first little step, especially in partnerships when you're working with somebody, just to see if you like them and you get along and it's a good relationship and it's fun. When I'm very protective over my brand and what I do, but I have no concerns with Zen representing the brand well. It was no concern over, okay, well, Zen, you have to treat people nice or you've got to believe in them, like all of just by working with him, I already know that that's what he is. And so I don't stay up at night wondering about his clients and if they're having a bad image on me because they're working with Zen, right? How do you get to know that? Well, by actually working with them on something. So finding a small way to get started and just do that thing to see, just like you date before you get married. You don't just get married. Okay, I need a partner. I'm going to go marry somebody. And it probably wouldn't work out well, right? So you go on a date and you see, it's like, and the test of a date is, do I want to go on another date with them? It's not, do I want to marry this person for the rest of my life after your first date? It's, hey, was that fun? Do I want to see them again? I want to go have another date. And then one date leads to another, leads to going steady, leads to engagement, leads to marriage. That's how I think about partnerships. You want to spend some time with them and see if you want to go back. Ideally, the people around you are always injecting love and energy that you feel better. When you leave them, you feel better, more full than when you first came in, where most people are kind of pulling energy out of us. So if you find people like that who give you more, just as much as you're giving to them, they're giving you more, and you both leave. It's the 1 + 1 = 3. Like you both leave better because of that. When you find those people, you try to find more ways to spend time with them. And hopefully that fits within building your mission. Because at the beginning, I had no idea what to do with Zen. I just like this guy. Okay, I don't know. Let's just spend more time together. And that evolves. And for me, the more people spend time with me, I end up doing businesses with them because that's just what I love doing. So like, what do you love? And then how can you just get started immediately?
So it doesn't sound like it's relationship based. It doesn't sound like you have, negotiate back and forth the contract, how much you get paid and what's the benefit, what's responsibilities. It doesn't sound like it's a hardcore business.
And I may operate different than a lot of people. I love handshake deals. It's my favorite. And the lawyers in here probably like hate me for that, but Zan didn't sign anything. The Jeremy, Drew, Alex, like people who now are on their way to building 7-figure businesses. I signed nothing with them. They could drop me at any moment if they wanted to. Great. And it's okay. Next, moving on. My mom's a corporate lawyer, so she would hate hearing that. That's how I operate. But there's nothing wrong with doing that. I think if you are, though, it's not the first step. Like the first step should be work on something small together that maybe doesn't even need some kind of contract, just to see if you like working with them and it's fun. And if it is, then you can work out the details. You'll have to figure out, like, with Zane, we're like, okay, well, how much is the coaching? How much are you charging? That all the finances have to be figured out, but it shouldn't be the first step. You should figure out how can you work on something small together and see. It's like having talks about kids when you're on your first date. Like, whoa, kids, I'm here on my first date. Let's have some fun together. I'm getting to know you.
Let's get on with
Yeah. But if you try to rush it, you're probably going to rush. Like, you could rush the wrong person out of the relationship, right? If you're going in immediately talking about marriage and kids on the first date, you might freak the person out, and it's not a good fit. Same thing in business. If you're coming in right away talking about terms and conditions and where you're going to grow, it's like, hey, I don't even know you. Like, that's definitely a turn off for me. If that's the first thing that comes in, hey, Evan, here's a way you can make $1 million, and here's our terms and conditions. Like, I don't even know who you are. I'm not. Yeah, goodbye. We're like, Lady Lex is waving her hand. Like, I'm not doing this. Anyway, trust and belief.
Thank you.
If you want to get a copy of Built to Serve and join us live for our next training with me to ask your questions, you can go get the book right there next to me, right there. I'll see you there. I'll see you to get the book. It's a good one. Much love.